What's up guys, it's your girl Em and I'm back with another cooking video for you today. And today I am making a spicy vodka sauce and I'm also going to be making some chicken cutlets with it, and I'm going to make it kind of like a spicy vodka sauce chicken parm situation. Alright guys, so I have my chicken breast. I have thinly sliced. I got them at the grocery store already thinly sliced. You can buy regular chicken breasts and pound them out and thin them out yourself if you don't have the thin sliced ones, but mine are already thin. I also have some Parmesan, I have some butter, I have fresh mozzarella, and it's the already pre-sliced kind. I have shallots. I have basically two of the shallot bulbs, and if you're wondering what a shallot is, it's an allium, aluminum, I don't know. And basically it's like a mixture between a head of garlic and a red onion, so it's like a mixture of that. This is a shallot all minced up. And if you don't have shallots or you don't have access to get shallots, you could easily use red onion, you could use white onion, or just skip it altogether. Then I also have about like 4 little cloves of garlic minced right here. I have shells because I'm also gonna be making the pasta with the vodka sauce. I have pepper, salt, tomato paste, crushed red pepper, heavy whipping cream, and then for the coating on the chicken, I have Italian seasoned breadcrumbs. Well, also I'm gonna use some panko seasoned breadcrumbs. I have basil, garlic, and onion powder, and I'll use salt and pepper. Also, I forgot that I don't have any eggs. I made a grocery order and it's not getting here until tomorrow. So instead of using an egg to make the dredge for my chicken, I'm gonna improvise and I'm gonna use butter. Will it turn out? I honestly have no idea. I'm hoping it does. And I'm gonna put it in the microwave and let it melt. And I'm going to get my seasoned breadcrumbs ready. So I'm gonna use my Italian breadcrumbs here. I'm also going to use some panko. The panko are like it's not as thin, it gives it like a little more coating. They're like a thicker breadcrumb. And I'm gonna go ahead and add some pepper. A little bit of salt. Garlic powder. Onion powder. We're gonna top it off with some basil leaves. My hands are clean and this is my food, so I'm just gonna mix it all up. All right, we got a good mix on it. Now I'm going to take my seasonings and I'm gonna season my chicken. Because it's important to season not just the breadcrumbs, but the chicken itself. We're just gonna use the same seasoning: salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. And I'm gonna do the same for both sides of chicken. I have a baking sheet here with aluminum foil on top of it, and I'm gonna go ahead and add some canola oil spray. And I'm just gonna place my chicken on the tray. Now, initially, before I realized I didn't have an egg, what I was gonna do was I was going to pan fry the chicken cutlets on the stove before I put them in the oven. But we're adapting, and we are just going to pour some melted butter on top of each piece of chicken. And this is going to help the breadcrumbs adhere to the chicken. Brush the butter in and make sure it gets all over the chicken. Take some that's been left on here. Make sure it's all over it. This also is a healthier version, so if you're trying to be conscious of that, maybe baking is a better option for you. And I'm preheating the oven to 425 degrees. Next, I'm gonna take my dredge that I made, and I'm just going to put it on top of the butter. Like so, and just kind of tap it in. You don't want it to be too clumpy, so just kind of move the little breadcrumbs around. Make a nice, even, light coating on each piece of chicken, like so. Take a look at my chicken. It's all nice and coated. And this is gonna get really crispy. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some Parmesan cheese and just shake it on top. And then, last but not least, I'm gonna take my canola oil spray, and I'm just gonna give a light spray to each piece of the chicken so that it can get like a nice golden brown color. So my oven is about preheated, but I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it in because I cannot wait any longer. This is gonna take about 20 to 25 minutes to bake, and it is going to be so good. All right guys, so now I'm going to start making my spicy homemade vodka sauce. I don't have vodka, I don't keep vodka in the house, so we're going to nix the vodka. You can use vodka if you'd like. It totally burns off in the sauce while it's cooking, so you're not really gonna taste the vodka at all. It's fine, but we don't have any, so we're not gonna use it. So you don't have to use it, you can use it. If you're going to use it, use like about a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons. That's all you need, but we're gonna go ahead and show you how to make this spicy vodka sauce. Now this is a very popular sauce being made all over the internet because Gigi Hadid, she posted herself making it, and it's based off of a sauce in New York City at this restaurant called Carbone, and they charge like, I think $35 for a plate of this pasta, and you can make it at home for like 10 bucks, less than 10 bucks. So make it at home. Don't go to New York City and go to Carbone, that's overrated. So I'm gonna just add some olive oil to my pan, and I'm gonna do quite a bit, more than I normally would, to just kind of coat the pan. And I'm gonna take my garlic. And my shallots. We're gonna add this to the olive oil. There we go. And we're just going to salt and pepper. That's all we need. Oh, you know what? She doesn't do this, but to me, I think that this is an important step. I like to toast the red chili flakes in the oil just to add like, kind of like a chili oil. So we're gonna do that because we want flavor. We want flavor. Just kind of mix this around, and we're just gonna let this toast up. I'll see you in a little bit once it starts bubbling. All right, guys, look at these shallots and garlic. They're getting nice and bubbly. The salt, the pepper, the red pepper. My chicken is baking, my water is on, and we're gonna get started on this sauce. So what I'm gonna do next This has gotten to pretty adequate cooking level. And I'm gonna take my tomato paste. And I'm making a little more sauce than I normally would, so I am actually going to use like the whole thing. Usually I would just use 2 tablespoons, but we're gonna make the whole thing. All right, now a big tip for tomato paste. You wanna make sure you cook the tomato paste. Get it in that olive oil because that's gonna take away like the tinny flavor from the container that it's in. Make sure you're cooking that down directly in the olive oil best you can. As you can see, my chicken is cooking, it's baking. It was starting to get a little too brown up here on the top rack, so I just moved it down to the bottom, and that way it would kind of stop the browning process on the breadcrumbs on the chicken. So we're just gonna let that continue to cook for about 10 more minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and heavily salt this water. You want it to be like the ocean in there. All right, so this is looking pretty good. Now it doesn't look like a sauce. It doesn't look like a sauce yet, but just wait and see. And we're gonna turn this glop of tomato paste into a beautiful sauce. Add some heavy whipping cream. And this is really gonna be what kind of turns it into a sauce. I'm just gonna add a little bit of it at a time. Look at that color. Can you see? Now it's starting to look like a vodka sauce. Look at that. And I want it to get to kind of like a bright orange color. So we're just gonna continue to add some cream until we get to the color we want. I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit. And it's pretty thick so far, but we're gonna thin it out, don't you worry. Get a nice good mix on it. Vodka sauce off the heat for just a little bit. I'm gonna add a little more cream, I think, in there, but I'm gonna go ahead and add my shells into the salted pasta water. And I'm gonna use about 3/4 of the bag. And I'm using small shells. You could use rigatoni, penne, whatever pasta shape you'd like. Go ahead and use it. I'm just using the shells because I like the shells the most. Took my chicken out. It still has just a little bit more time. Look at all this. Nice and burnt over here, but the chicken looks amazing. So I'm just gonna let this kind of sit for a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish my sauce. Now let me show you how I'm gonna do that. It's still pretty thick, as you can see, but we're gonna thin it out a little bit by taking a ladle to the pasta water. Oh, there's a piece of pasta in there. And we're gonna add some pasta water to kind of thin it out just a little bit. And then we are also going to add Parmesan. kick this up a little bit. Look at that. It looks so good. And the starchiness of the pasta water makes it come all together. See, I know you probably thought I was crazy for adding a little bit of that pasta water in. And now we're gonna take this opportunity to add some more pepper. And we're gonna add some more crushed red pepper. Oh, yes. I drained the pasta. I'm gonna take this off. What I'm gonna do, move all this out of the way. I'm going to spoon some of this sauce on top of the chicken. On top each piece. You don't have to totally cover it. You can keep some of it, you know. Just do a nice little light sauce situation. Take my fresh mozzarella. I'm gonna put a slice on each piece. And I'm just going to pop this back in the oven so the sauce and cheese can melt all together on the chicken. There we go. Now, last but not least, I'm gonna go ahead and take our pasta right here. So you can see we got all this sauce left. And I'm just gonna go ahead and start incorporating the shells into the sauce. Give it a good mix. Okay, now I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of butter just to kind of finish it off. Mix it all in. You could easily make this a smaller serving and make it for one. Just add a lot less tomato paste and a lot less heavy whipping cream. All right, guys, moment of truth. Check it out, all nice and melted. All right. It looks so good, a little crispy, but it looks delicious. All right, guys, so here's the finished product. Here is my chicken right here with the mozzarella, and then I also have my pasta shells here. I'm about to make a kale Caesar salad, and if you're curious about my kale Caesar salad, go ahead and check out my kale Caesar salad video. I'll put it in the description down below, so if you're interested in seeing how I make a kale Caesar salad, I already have a video on it. So here we go. Let's go ahead and give it a taste. I wanna get like a cheesy piece of this chicken. Cheesy vodka sauce chicken. Oh, okay, okay, all right, okay, okay. Crazy. When I tell you this is one of the best things I've ever put in my mouth, I'm really not lying to you. This is so freaking good. Y'all need to try this. Y'all need to make this. It is so simple. Oh my God, it's so good. And if you don't want to make the homemade vodka sauce, just buy vodka sauce, use the chicken recipe, make some shells, put, just do it. Like, this is so freaking delicious. Oh my gosh. I think this is my favorite meal ever. So good. I'm like about to demolish this, so I need to get off of here. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Also, follow my Twitter at @MannMan and my Instagram at Midwest Mansfield. And I think that about does it for today's cooking video. Thanks for watching, guys. Mwah!